to us now. Yeah, see what they mean. Got it. That's Mom right there. Where's that still camera?
We got 2 eggs in here?
2.
All right.
2. Nice.
I know that.
What's the difference?
Gram.
Gram. John Stokes righty. Grab that strap that's standing underneath the camera. Strap grab that strap that's standing underneath the camera. Strap down.
It was a little windy up there, and it's moving around a little bit, but we got the job done.
Yeah. How'd you feel about that eagle flying around you?
You know, it was really exciting, and I was having a hard time staying focused on the task at hand, but that's what we had to do, and got those eggs out of there, and then I enjoyed it.
It was exciting. I've never been that close to an eagle before. The actual size of it. Very beautiful.
This pair of eagles actually nested in a cell tower. We believe it's the same pair, about a quarter-mile away from this site last year. And in Florida, we've got a lot of urban eagles, what we call urban eagles, that are used to construction of people, etc. They most likely were born or hatched under these conditions. Now they're re-nesting under these conditions, and the numbers of pairs of eagles that we have that are nesting on artificial structures is increasing every year as a result. And we have a burgeoning eagle population. We don't know the total number, but probably about 1,300 or 1,400 pairs now in the state of Florida. And it was at one time in the 70s down to 75 pairs. So it's a wonderful success story.
We became involved in the project about 2 weeks ago. I and my staff have been monitoring the birds daily since we became involved to ensure that the construction activities that are ongoing here at the stadium did not disrupt the birds.
This cell tower right here is where the bald eagle pair nested last year, and they fledged young from here. And now this is located directly across the street from the stadium, and they don't know why they changed their nest site this year, but hopefully these birds will come back to this nest now. It's early enough in the season where they might possibly lay some eggs, and this way we'll not only get to release the eggs that or the chicks that will come out of the eggs that we just took from the lighting tower today, but there will be some additional eggs that the birds will lay and some additional young that will be able to fledge here in Florida. Well, we got the eggs. Now we need to head back to Tennessee, and hopefully we can get these in our incubators back there. Humidity. The American Eagle Foundation is happy to announce that one of the 2 eggs that we brought up from Florida has hatched. It hatched on December 29th at about 10 p.m. and a healthy little baby came out, and that bird today is over 2 weeks of age. It's approximately 19 days old, and it's doing very well. It's eating more food every day, and we have full expectations that it'll be released into the wild on Douglas Lake. The second egg did not hatch. We gave it plenty of time beyond the typical hatch date. Eagle eggs normally are incubated for 35 days, and so that egg has been removed from the incubator. But the youngster, the healthy youngster that did hatch out, we've been feeding with an eagle puppet. Our staff has been wearing camouflage to prevent any kind of human imprinting on the bird while it's being fed, and the baby essentially is seeing a parent eagle puppet feeding it. We will release this bird around March 11th on Douglas Lake in Dandridge, Tennessee, where the American Eagle Foundation has a hack tower, an artificial nesting tower. Prior to the eagle's release, we'll put a transmitter on its middle tail feather, and this will help us track the eagle in the initial days after its release. If it should get into trouble, land in water or whatever, we can go locate it and help it out, put it back into the hack tower and re-release it. We'll also put a colored numbered tag on its wing called a patagial tag, and that tag is easily identified when the bird is perching in a tree or flying above. We'll also put a U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service band on its leg, and the Fish and Wildlife Service band will be on there permanently for its life. And if the bird is ever found anywhere, you know, we would know exactly what bird this is. The patagial tag will likely fall off at some point, and the transmitter will also fall off at some point when the bird loses its middle tail feather during an annual molting. The American Eagle Foundation is obviously very happy that we did have a successful hatching and that the bird is doing very well, and we're really looking forward to seeing it let go into the wild and where it can experience freedom like its parents down in Florida. Well, we're at the Eagle Release Tower, the artificial nesting tower on Douglas Lake in East Tennessee. And today the Florida eaglet was exactly 6 weeks of age. Wow, 7 pounds. 6 weeks old, yeah. And you got these talons. I want to show you these little blood feathers coming in right here. Getting some of his little brown feathers there coming into his wings. Says, leave my wings alone, for God's sakes. So I'll put you in the carrier, get you ready to go, little one. Going out to the wilderness today. Little tail feathers, just little tiny ones. Yeah. He's got some coming into his back already. Probably in about a week he's going to have mostly brown feathers. Okay, I'll take this out to the van. And we felt it was time now that we took them from the foundation facility in Pigeon Forge and brought them up to this nesting tower so he could start acclimating to this lake, really starting to believe that this is his nest. And this is actually where he'll first learn to fly. The way it works is that wherever an eagle first learns to fly, it will usually come back to that general area when it finds a mate, when it's about 4 or 5 years of age. Easy does it on the baby. Before we actually put the eaglet in the hack tower today, we had to do some preparations. We made sure that inside was a real comfortable and warm nest. We put some more pine needles in it and did some other modifications to make sure that there would be no entry points for raccoons to come in during the next 6 weeks and do any harm to the bird. Going to make this place nice and warm for this baby. He's going to be adjusting to some new weather conditions, a little bit colder weather. We tried to introduce the cold to him slowly, even when he was in the room back at the facility. But we want to make sure, in case we get a few little cold spells at night, that he's real warm in here. These are pine needles. It's nice warm bedding material. In addition to bringing the Florida eaglet up here today, we also brought Osceola, a one-winged educational eagle that the foundation cares for. We're going to leave him up here for about 6 weeks or 7 weeks with this youngster, hoping that the young eagle will model its behavior after a real adult bird. Here you go, little one. This is your new home for the next 6 weeks. We're going to get you settled in here. Put you right in here. There you go. Nice and warm up here for you. After placing the eaglet in the hack tower, we chopped up a trout and put it on a tray and put it in there without him seeing us serving the food. And he didn't waste any time at all to finish that trout, in probably in about 15 minutes. Now, while the eaglet is up in the hack tower for the next 6 or 7 weeks, we're going to be very cautious that this eagle never knows that his food is being presented and served to him by a human being. We want to eliminate the possibility of this eagle becoming human imprinted, which means it would think it's a person and therefore would seek out people for food once it's in the wild. And we accomplish that by continuing to use camouflage when we need to do certain activities around the bird, but also we'll use a sliding drawer system where we put the food in a tray and slide it in so that he doesn't see where the food's coming from. We also give water to the bird in the same way. We can observe the bird through a one-way mirrored glass window to help keep a daily eye on the bird's progress. So at about 13 weeks of age, we will release him from this hack tower. The gate at the front of the hack tower will be raised, and the eaglet will be free to leave whenever it wants. We don't force them out the door. We try to let them take their time and decide when the time is right. They'll usually spend a lot of time up here flapping their wings, starting to exercise between now and release day, and so that their wings are strong enough to make the first flight. Now, prior to release, we'll attach what we call a patagial tag, or a patagial marker, on its wing. And the way that works is it'll be on its patagial, which is right around this area of the wing, and so that this will be able to be read from not only up in the air when he's flying, but also when he's perched in a tree. And that'll help us identify him wherever he might fly, because he more than likely will not stay in Tennessee. Young eagles are notorious roamers. They'll roam all over the United States. So we expect this bird to do the same. And so if this bird is seen up in Ohio and someone sees it or takes a picture of it, then they can give us a report that the eagle is doing real well. And that's what we're hoping for, and that's the reason why we put these markers on. This tag and a radio transmitter placed on its middle tail feather for tracking will eventually fall off.